So guys, it's Dave back from a video on the channel today. We're here for the Newcastle United versus Aston Villa player ratings. A crazy game at the end. I want to say thanks to anyone who watched the stream. It does mean a lot. First stream back, and there will be streams for every game from now on. And it was a crazy game, wasn't it? Reaction, I button at the top, link in the description on the end screen, on the outro. So if you want to go and watch that, if you haven't watched that video already, make sure to do so. Anyways lads, a crazy game at the end, but this is on the performance, and today's performance wasn't good enough. Simple as that. We'll go for the player ratings now, so we'll do that. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into it now. Starting off with the goalkeeper, Martin Dubravka. Martin today made some really crucial saves. He did. He made some fantastic saves in that game. There was one in the second half that really stood out. I think it was by Barkley, and there was one where we were 1-0 down and he made a crucial save to keep us in the game, and it obviously got us a point, so you need to look into that. First half looked comfortable, and it was overall a really good performance from Martin Dubravka. Couldn't do anything with a goal. It's literally been deflected off Kevin Clark. Just so unfortunate how that's got to go in the back of the net, but you can't blame Martin Dubravka on that. For me, you've got to give him a solid rating, and I think the saves today that he made kept us in the game, and it clearly did, because we were 1-0 down, made a really crucial save. Jamal Lascelles scores and gets us a point. For me, Martin Dubravka gets a 7 out of 10. Right back was Emil Kraft, and yet again showing why he shouldn't be in this team. Javi Manquillo came on, and he's got to be starting. He's got to be starting against Brighton. We all know Emil Kraft isn't good enough. I don't even know why we signed him. He cost 4 million. 4 million. Spending 4 million in the Premier League gets you nowhere. And it's proven that with Emil Kraft. He's simply not good enough. And we need to buy a right back in the summer if we are Championship or Premier League next season. It doesn't matter. But Emil Kraft today wasn't great yet again. Going up, didn't really do anything. And defensively was shocking. Give away a yellow, got a yellow card for a silly foul, and it was just an overall a poor performance from Emil Kraft. I'm gonna give him a solid bastard fucking 2. Centre backs now. We'll do the high one first. We're gonna try and speak about some positive thoughts in this video. Jamal Lascelles, 2 and 2 at St James's Park for him, but I didn't think he was good enough today. Like defensively until the goal. We'll get onto the goal in a second. Defensively, Watkins was causing him a bit of a problem, but not as much as a problem as we've seen in other weeks. It wasn't a main issue in the game, but I watched the goal back. Obviously, we know it was a Kevin Clark goal. I didn't have Lascelles' position and was an issue or anything like that. But the goal, it was a fantastic header, and in recent times I've slated Jamal Lascelles for the sake of being a captain and not a leader. He's captain of Newcastle United Football Club, and he doesn't act like a leader like times. He's still a young-ish football player in his prime, young for a captain, you could say. And for me, it was a really good header, but you've got to give him the best, one of the best ratings. I'm gonna, obviously he will get man of the match. We'll get onto other players in a minute, but I think it was a good performance from Jamal Lascelles defensively and attackingly. Obviously defensively could have been a lot better, but it was okay for him. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Kevin Clark now, that own goal is what's the main talking point. I didn't think it actually would have been given as an own goal, but that's not his fault. He's put his body on the line, it came off, and it's deflected into the back of the net. You can't blame Kevin Clark for the own goal. You can't say he should have been better trying to block it or anything. He done what he needed to do, and he put his body on the line for Newcastle United, and it came out on the wrong. You can't blame him on that. Absolutely not. But like Jamal Lascelles, they were causing problems when El Ghazi came on and Barkley came on, Sanson came on, and they were causing problems going up the pitch. But yet, like against West Brom, he was covering for Paul Dummett when Paul Dummett went up a little bit, and he done well. Kevin Clark, the own goal obviously is going to bring down the rating a little bit, but the own goal is simply not his fault. It's not a dodgy own goal, it's not a shit own goal. It's an own goal that you can't control. Kevin Clark, I'm going to give him a slap down the middle, 5 out of 10. Paul Dummett next. Paul Dummett was good. He was decent. Showing Jamal Lewis why he needs to be a left back, and he's done well in the last 2 weeks. And he starts with Brighton. He starts against Brighton for me. It was a fairly decent performance. Sent Traore to the hospital. Hopefully he's okay, Bertrand. And then El Ghazi came on and caused him a little bit of a problem. but not as much as a problem as we've seen from different players from different teams, and Paul Dummett dealt with it fairly decent today. Yet again, it was a fairly decent performance from Paul Dummett. A solid 6 out of 10, I'd say. Isaac Hayden now, and Isaac Hayden had one thing he done in the first half, and Shelvey made a terrible pass, and Isaac Hayden came in and just went straight in the back of the player, won the ball cleanly, and we got a counter-attack going. And that's what Isaac Hayden can do. He controls that midfield, and he is our best midfielder at the club. And reports coming out saying that he should have not started for the game and should have been rested. Clueless. You've got to play your best players when you need them, and he was needed today. Isaac Hayden, 6 out of 10. John Joe Shelvey next, and that first half performance was embarrassing. He is shocking. Defensively, awareness, everything about John Joe Shelvey was not good enough. Simply not good enough. Passing has went down the bin, and he will start against Brighton, and that is the most frustrating thing. We've got two Geordies in Matty Longstaff and Sean Longstaff sitting. Well, Matty Longstaff's not even on the bench. Sean Longstaff sitting on the bench, right? Why can he not play? Surely he can see in his fat stinking mind that it's not working with him in midfield, right? Change it up, because it's simply not working. So change it up. Simple. Shelvey was shy today. 1. The attacking players now. I'm going to start with a positive one. Joe Willock. He was good today. He was really good. For a young lad being 21 years old, you can see his quality in him. He shows his quality, and if he had a good team around him, he's a player. We're seeing it against Southampton when he had Wilson, Miggy, Maxi around him. That was his best game we've seen him. And yet again today, he was great, and he was trying to do something up the top end of the pitch, taking players on, and he done really well. Fair play to Joe Willock for being such a young lad, coming into Newcastle in the situation, 2 wins in 19 games, and his manager still has the job. He's playing week in, week out at the minute, and it's fair enough to him. Young lad, committing to the squad, fair dues to Joe Willock. Fair enough, mate. Good rating today, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Now, like the proper end of attacking players. We'll start off with Ryan Fraser. Why the fuck did Steve Bruce start him in striker? I'm doing it in my head, right? He was on the left, Joe Lett was on the right, Gayle was in the centre. Why did he start him in striker and Gayle in left wing? Embarrassing from a manager. Fucking embarrassing. For any manager in the Premier League, right? If you told Pep Guardiola, he would be baffled. Why the fuck would you play a striker in left wing and a left wing in striker? Do you have the fucking clap? It's ridiculous. On to Ryan Fraser. Got a lot of Aston Villa players yellow cards, which did cause a problem because they had a little bit. They wouldn't have flown for a slide tackle. That could have been a game-changing tackle and stuff like that. He was doing well on that side of the pitch. He's got no fucking support. He's got no support. There was a lot of times when he was in centre, making really, really good runs, creating space, and you've got donkeys like John Joe Shelvey and Joe Linton just dilly-dally, oh there you go Clark, oh pass it back to me, and you play the fucking Emil, and Emil play the fucking Joe Linton, and you just lose the ball. Watkins goes up, and you lose the ball, and it was just that, and Fraser was making good runs, and that's just, it's just what happens. It's shitty Newcastle, it is. What can you do? But with Ryan Fraser, he tried to do what he could do in that team, and with that team, it's just not working, is it? Without Wilson and without everyone, it's just going down like that. Fraser hasn't scored a Premier League goal this season, and he was such a promising signing, especially being on a free transfer. Ryan Fraser, 5. Next up, Joe Linton. And I said, if he doesn't do it this week, you've got to just not play him. You cannot be playing a player in a relegation fight, dogfight, Premier League fight, right? Whatever you want to call it. If you've got your £40 million striker, your biggest signing in the club's history, and if he's got no confidence, don't play him. Because what is the point playing it's like playing with 10 men. And that's not on his quality. That's on the confidence of the player. And I know a lot of fans stick up for him. And don't get us wrong, he did create some good stuff today. And I want to be one of the people who prove people wrong who call out Joe Linton, who say the stuff about Joe Linton. But if you're going off today's performance, it wasn't good enough again. And I'm trying to stick with him. I'm trying to keep that confidence with him. He was causing problems in the first half against Tyrone Mings and Konsa. He was causing problems. It's just that confidence. And you're not going to get that confidence. This season, he will not get that confidence. You need to either send him out on loan in a different league, in a different environment, get him a bit of confidence, and then bring him back to the club. Yes, he may cost 40 million, and you might have to send him out on loan, but it's for the sake of his career in Newcastle United, and it's not working at the club at the minute. Joe Linton today, 4. And then now Dwight Gayle, extremely quiet today, didn't really create much, didn't really have a chance on goal, and didn't do much, really. Didn't create anything, didn't make any runs, he was very quiet. That's it. Dwight Gayle, 3 out of 10. Quickly on the substitutes, good to see Javier Manquillo back. Jacob Murphy was the first substitute. He hit the bar, got the assist for Jamal Lascelles' goal, and he did cause problems. So fair enough to Jacob Murphy, start him against Burnley. And Andy Carroll will be enjoying his 35 grand in his back pocket after coming on and literally doing fuck all. So yeah lads, that is the end of the player ratings. Make sure to leave a like, boys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks to everyone who's watching the stream. It doesn't mean a lot, but we will be doing another one for Brighton. We've got loads of videos going on for the Brighton game, so make sure to stay tuned on the channel. Anyways, boys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully Newcastle didn't ruin it. Have a good one, boys. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next video.